So I see that I'm live. So I see everything. I got everything right. Okay. Hello everyone, Global Karen here. We gonna be reacting to Shopfulous Productions video on every Disney Renaissance movie ranking. And we're gonna be doing 2000s, 2010s, but I don't know. I want to do both of those two today. Let's see about this video. Then I may do the rest, today, but I don't really know yet. But let's get started with this one.
There. Tune in to the end of the video to see how you, that's right, you at home, can try Skillshare absolutely free. Well. Everyone seemed to like my ranking of the best animated feature winners. Except for Brave fans. They do exist, apparently. And yeah, this is my personal favorite video I've made so far, so...
Let's do it again!
Okay! But this...
Wait, did I react to his animated feature movies?
Time with Disney movies, specifically the Renaissance films that mostly came out in the 90s, from Little Mermaid all the way to Tarzan. These are low-key some of my all-time favorite movies. I mean, what do you expect from a former theater kid? These movies tantalized my imagination from a young age, and many of them have just gotten better with time. So ranking them was a bit of a challenge, but we're just gonna jump right in and hopefully not get anyone mad about my opinions this time, which is an unrealistic fantasy, I know, but these movies are
in the Renaissance.
In the game of life. Pocahontas is
Pocahontas is the worst one out of all the Renaissance movies. The only reason, I think, because the others are way better than Pocahontas. I don't hate Pocahontas, but Pocahontas is not better than the other ones. It's not really better than Tarzan. It's not better than Mulan.
I found this movie really boring as a kid, and it has not gotten better with time. I mean, it's got some good stuff. The songs are solid, as usual. Colors of the Wind is a real standout, and I get a lot of it from Mine, Mine, Mine. Miko is cute. There's a single good line.
Why do you think those insolent heathens attacked us?
Because we invaded their land and cut down their trees and dug up their earth.
Despite that, the movie is stunningly non-self-aware. It's honestly kind of...
We're supposed to be... Then it had to kind of change the narrative of the actual what is and what Pocahontas was in real life. Play a narrative in both sides in the aisle.
Character is boring. Every scene that isn't a musical number is lifeless and flat.
I don't even watch Pocahontas once in a while. But the other movies I will watch them 2 or 3 times. This movie, Pocahontas is not that great.
The villain is a complete...
Is it a bad movie? No, but it's not is it a bad movie? No. Is it the worst movie? No, but you talk about Renaissance, it's not there.
It's an utter joke.
Success will be mine at last.
What? Why did you say it like that? Pocahontas and John Smith can magically communicate with each other. No, that's not even an exaggeration. It's literally some forest magic that gives them a special heart listening technique. Why? The tree can talk and whip people. Okay, sure. Why does Mel Gibson voice John Smith? His voice sticks out like a sore thumb.
I did not know there was Mel Gibson playing John Smith. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Because he's not doing a...
Why they pick Mel Gibson
British accent like all the other characters who came from Britain. Oh god, why am I talking about this movie? It's bad. You know it's bad. I can understand liking Brave or Happy Feet, but how do people enjoy this tone-deaf, absurdly boring piece of garbage? Just watch Colors of the Wind on YouTube and pretend it's a short film. Save yourself 81 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. Okay, moving on.
Birds! You're seeing things.
I really didn't feel like watching this movie.
Oh, The Rescue, Dawn Under. I think I seen The Rescue once in my life. I just don't really care about The Rescue like that. I know a lot of people I know most people like The Rescue, but I'm just not really a big fan of The Rescue.
It really shouldn't count for the purposes of this one era of Disney films that I have not seen and have no interest in seeing. But whatever, I watched it to be safe and it's fine. I like a few things, namely the villain. He's pretty funny and menacing. I really like that sequence with the eagle at the beginning. It's real pretty. The bird is pretty okay. I guess the mice are okay despite barely being in the movie. Seriously, what's the deal there? Isn't this movie called The Rescuers Down Under? Aren't they the rescuers? It is the titular role and considered a neat subversion, but I think it's more so a case of the movie not devoting any time to their relationship or their characters whatsoever. I think they get 2 scenes where the guy mouse wants to propose but fails to. 2 scenes does not equal a running gag, bucko. This kid is the dumbest person alive. Yeehaw, kiddo, I'm an evil poacher, threatened to kill you on numerous occasions. But now the eagle I'm after is dead. Oh well, guess you're free to go now, kid. But golly gee, it sure is a shame that those eggs are unattended to. If only someone would go check on those eggs. Then this dumbass goes straight to where the eggs are and the villain follows him in a loud ass tank. It is here, at the very end of the movie, where the titular characters finally impact the plot by telling the kid that he's a complete moron and that George C. Scott followed him here. Oh, there's a big surprise! God, this movie is just unbearably stupid. It has enough good elements to keep it above this.
See how I did it?
But I feel like I just got nothing out of this experience. If you ask me, this
Feels like he just found Pocahontas more boring than this movie.
doesn't count as a Renaissance film. Release dates be damned. It feels so archaic, especially compared to the movie that came out the year before it. And I seriously doubt I will ever think about it again. If you like it, good for you.
Tarzan, I get why most people do not like Tarzan. To be honest, I actually like Tarzan. I don't know why. Because like I like the story. I get like the characters weren't there, especially Tarzan. Tarzan's character, he barely, especially when he went to the humans, he barely talks. He's just there just to learn how to learn his history and everything because of Jane. Then the villain, I like the villain. I like him at least at the ending how he died. Other than that, the music I was fine with. I get like most people didn't like the music. I was fine with the music.
It's not bad, but it kind of disgusts me on a personal level. I feel like all the pieces were there for a really powerful, compelling, top-tier Disney
I
experience.
think most people just don't really like the music. That's what I've been hearing for a while.
But the movie really dropped the ball in a lot of key areas. Right off the bat, the fact that this film yeets the whole musical format away just to have Phil Collins semi-narrate the emotions of each scene with his weird-ass songs was just kind of mind-boggling. The songs are actually pretty decent. I mean, Two Worlds was used to great emotional effect in the animation classic The Family Simp.
Dad, we're engaged!
Each scene they appeared in kind of fell flat for me as a result. Maybe if they got a cover artist to sing half of them so we wouldn't have to hear the booming voice of Phil Collins echoing through the jungle, that could have worked a little better. But they just blend together into this tepid pulp. You're telling me You'll Be in My Heart deserved an Oscar over Blame Canada from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut? Is that an out-of-season April Fool's joke? There's a scene where all the animals find a bunch of human artifacts and they start using them as musical instruments. And
my screen's just blurring out for some reason. Let me do this real quick. I don't know why my videos is blurring like this, but I think I have to deal with.
I thought, oh my god, are we gonna have a musical number? Is this finally gonna be like a real Disney song in the scene? But I guess Disney said, nah, kids these days don't like
I like it. I didn't hate it.
musicals anymore. Just have Phil Collins sing every Tarzan. But actually, yeah, that is the most disappointing aspect. But there's other disappointing things too. Despite Phil's best efforts, the opening is really compelling. Seeing a gorilla family lose their baby to a cheetah, and then seeing the mother rescue Tarzan, who lost his parents to that same cheetah. This rescue sequence is tense, exciting, and done without any words. It made me wish the animals would continue without talking, kind of like Spirit, and the emotion on their faces would progress the narrative. But nah, they talk. Which is just great, because we're introduced to the most annoying.
I get why they did it. It's in Tarzan perspective, so I kind of understand why they made them talk. But it was like in real life. Let's be honest, they should not be talking.
Character in any of the movies on this list. Also, this elephant is just neurotic Pumbaa. That's a no from me.
They trying to make these two like talk, trying to make these two like Timon and Pumbaa, but it just didn't work.
Fortunately, they're not really in the movie that much. It's more about Tarzan trying to prove himself to his father, who hates him because he's not an ape, and him learning to become human when he meets Jane Foster, or whatever her name is. That's actually pretty compelling. In addition, the action is really something to behold. Anytime there's a chase or fight scene, it's something special. Also, listen to this elephant talk.
No, she's right. They're native to South America. One more injury like that, and you could wind up like that poor creature there in the iron butt.
But the movie gets dragged down again by this boring-ass hunter villain guy. They could have had a great villain on their hands with that cheetah who killed Tarzan's parents.
But they killed it off pretty early in the movie. Then they focused on him. I was fine with him. I didn't hate him much, but I will agree he's not the greatest villain, especially in the Renaissance. There are way better villains than him. Let's be honest, the cheetah is way better because it doesn't really talk, it just kills.
But that thing is disposed of pretty quickly for some reason, and now we gotta deal with Clayton and his tired, predictable motivations. I mean,
because Clayton's motivation is that he wants to capture gorillas and so on. It's almost the same thing like his character. It's just that it's the same thing like him. Is that the difference is now he's just focused on gold.
I mean, at least Radcliffe was ironically enjoyable.
That was his mistake.
But Clayton has nothing cool about him whatsoever, except his death scene. Holy.
That's the only good scene was the death.
Hera. Speaking of death scenes though, the dumbest thing about this movie is Tarzan's adoptive father dying after the climax and telling Tarzan that he was wrong, that Tarzan was his son all along. I'm sorry, that's even faker than the ending of Shark
Yeah, it really was so fake.
Tale.
It was so dumb.
Gorilla Dad was right. He died because of the humans Tarzan trusted and embraced. He has never
To like this moment, I'm like, at least build it up. But y'all really didn't. Y'all just made him forgive him because he's dying.
In reality, he should have said, "I told you white men were dangerous, you idiot," and then died right then and there. Sometimes people don't make emotional reconciliations with estranged family members right before their death. It's time you stopped living in a fairy tale, Disney. Or if you are gonna live in a fairy tale, give me the musical numbers that defined your fairy tales for so long. Whatever, the point is, Tarzan is a mixed bag that I don't have much interest in revisiting ever again. The emotional beats are really strong and some of the characters are solid, but the slapstick and comedy fall flat, the villain is lame, and the lack of traditional Disney songs really drags this one down for me. Thank God Disney never hired Phil Collins again.
It did with Brother Bear. And Brother Bear is gonna be in 2001. I don't know why they love Phil Collins so much. I don't know why they like Phil Collins so much. It's just character scene and stuff. It's just getting someone put his music out there for no reason.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind?
Design on your cow!
Mulan is kind of a weird film to
He put Mulan in 7. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in him put Mulan in 7. I can't believe you done this. You know what? I will give you this. I'm interested what the other ones are. I get the top 3 gonna be Beauty and the Beast, maybe Pinocchio, and Pinocchio came out in the 80s, right? Came in the 80s or 70s. So, or like it's another movie in the Renaissance that was good. Lion King. I get Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and another movie. It's right there, but like, damn, bro, I can't believe you put Mulan in right here. Mulan is one of my favorite movies. I like Beauty and the Beast a lot more than Mulan, but like, goddamn.
talk about. I like it, but I can't shake the feeling that something's missing from it. Maybe it's the fact that there's considerably less songs than the typical Disney movie, and not all.
The soldier from the mountains.
Yeah, he doesn't know her at all, so his presence in the film is kinda limp, even though he murders a ton of people. The comedy is also kinda hit or miss. Sometimes Mushu has a great line or two. Sometimes he doesn't work for me at all. I mean, we're basically just watching Donkey for the entire movie.
Yeah, even though Shrek came out years before Mulan did. Mulan came out years before Shrek did.
And I don't know if he really fits the tone of a Disney film as well as he does the Shrek.
That fucking her look charm fucked it all the way up.
That stupid cricket getting in the coffee. If the grandmother hadn't stuck that cricket up
Pendant for balance. Beads of jade.
Even so, the movie's visually neat, it's a very well told story, the side characters are great, Mulan is a really compelling protagonist, and goddamn, they didn't have to go that hard on I'll Make a Man Out of You. But they did, and I'm so happy about that. I also love how a movie about a woman becoming the best hero in the land and proving all the men wrong didn't turn into a self-congratulatory circle jerk, which modern Disney most certainly
Oh god, yeah.
would have turned it into.
Teaching another girl to read
At
isn't
least it was natural, not bullshit like this. And what they did to my girl in the live action Mulan, that movie was, I had never seen it because I do not want to hate Mulan so hard. That movie, how you fucked over Mulan so hard in a live action setting. You had it, but you just want to do a lot more to it to fit a narrative. Disney, fuck you.
one enough.
Wow, we're such a woke company. Buy our products more because we care so much about social justice and feminism. Isn't it obvious?
Yeah, it was so fucking awful what they did. I'm sorry I'm cursing, but that movie, if I watch that movie, it will hurt me. It will hurt me so hard.
Buy dolls of our strong, independent princesses. Grounded story that doesn't dwell on gender issues too much outside of the literal law that she'll be killed if they find out she's a woman. Oh, and some stuff this asshole says.
That creature's not worth protecting.
I get Mulan and her saying came from the time of, I forgot what era. I don't know what era Mulan in, but like I get why it's like that around that time.
She's a hero. She's a woman. She'll never be worth anything.
Fuck that guy. This movie is just overall wonders. It's one of the reasons I love Moana so much, and also one of the
I never seen Moana.
reasons Captain Marvel gets worse the longer I think about it. And dude, that ending when Mulan presents the gifts from the Emperor to he just tosses them aside and hugs her, that gets me every time. Overall, a really good movie, even if it's kind of missing that zing factor that a lot of the other Renaissance films bring to the table. But it's still a nice time, and I love revisiting it every now and again.
That's hot. That's hot.
I mentioned in my review of Will
I get Aladdin's up there.
Smith Genie movie that I'm not overly attached to the original Aladdin.
I think that I will watch Mulan more than Aladdin. I just like Mulan more than Aladdin.
Or maybe Chris said that. I don't really feel like
This is his list, so it's like accepted.
going back and checking. Bottom line is, I'm not overly attached to Aladdin. I don't know, Aladdin and Jasmine never really clicked with me. I think they have good chemistry, and I love that whole "do you trust me" motif, but individually, they're not the most compelling protagonists. Jafar isn't really anything special at first either, and neither is the movie really. I think the Chosen One narrative is really contrived here. Sure, it's over within the first act, but still, why is Aladdin, of all people, the only one who fits this diamond in the rough criteria? That's kind of weird. Also, the CG in the Cave of Wonders escape, that's gonna be a yikes for me, dog. Then we meet the genie. Okay, this is great now. Aladdin gets a lot better as it goes along, mostly due to the impeccable late Robin Williams being a perfect fit for the role of a hilarious, all-powerful impressionist. He has a nice emotional core to his character in addition to being tremendously funny. And those songs, holy wowzers. Friend Like Me makes an amazing case for animation being the supreme form of visual storytelling. One Jump Ahead is a ton of fun. Prince Ali is a jam.
Prince Ali, I always like that song. Then you got this movie. Goddamn. I'm like, how y'all fuck up your live action movies so hard? And y'all can keep it super simple, but no, y'all had to make it worse. And you had to put Will Smith in there. I was like, when I saw him playing Will Smith, I was like, God damn it. I get he's a genie. The genie's blue, so the race swap thing doesn't really matter because like he's blue, so anyone can play the character. I get why y'all chose Will Smith, but I still don't understand. The person playing Jasmine, she been in so many flops. I think this one she's a lot better, but y'all try to put her up so hard. She was in that Power Ranger movie that Power Ranger movie that was bad. Then and I think it's another one, Charlie's Angels, that was bad too. I keep propping her up, but she's just not there. Then it makes a lot of sense with this movie. I think people like her in this movie, but like other than that, no one cares.
Oh god, I just referenced the line. Is the most gorgeous duet ever written for a musical. It's flawless in every way. Watching Aladdin and Jasmine soar across the stars.
And the genie. That's why I like this one a little bit more than
Mulan world to even Prince of Egypt world. It's tremendous from a lyrical, orchestral, visual, magical, every old standpoint. It's legitimately one of my top 10 favorite scenes in film history, and I could gush about it for ages. You know what? Add this song to the list of video topics I keep insisting I'll make eventually, but never do. Anyway, all of this greatness leads to a sensational climax where Jafar goes from a moderately decent villain to holy crap, this guy's unhinged and I love it. His crazy sorcery tricks, his hilarious bad puns, his absolute madness, and the fact that Aladdin beats him by outsmarting him rather than by using brute force. What a ride! Easily one of the best final battles in any Disney film. Bottom line is, I really like this movie, just not quite as much as some of the other Renaissance films when considering the overall package. But a lot of the individual elements here are some of my favorite portions of any Disney film ever. And as a result, I can't be too hard on this movie. It's a really fun time with some absolutely transcendent moments, and I highly recommend it.
Fish are dumb, dumb, dumb. They chase anything that glitters.
Holy carp, I don't remember The Little Mermaid being this good. Not only are the songs
Little Mermaid I like, as I just haven't watched it in a while. I heard about the new one. The new one flopped so hard. The new one flopped hard. Not even flopped so hard, but I heard that it's decent. It's not bad, but it's decent.
songs vibrant and alive. Not only is the underwater world magical, not only are the side characters such a great central protagonist. Believe me, I've heard the complaints. Oh, she gives up her voice and free will for a man. She's so whiny and a terrible character, and so on and so forth. Ha! That's where you're wrong, bucko. Ariel is established early on to be completely enamored with the human world and all of its relics. Eric wasn't even the tipping point to get her to see Ursula. That was King Triton destroying all of her human artifacts. She feels misunderstood and like she doesn't belong. Ursula is the one who goes on and on about Eric, but every scene advances either the story or a character's motivation. The songs are just phenomenal. Under the Sea and Kiss the...
I think the kind of the issue is just that he just don't really have much of a character. I think that's the only problem with the movie, is just that he just doesn't really have much of a character.
The girl are practically flawless. Poor Unfortunate Souls is a little slow to start, but that bombastic ending makes up for it. Part of Your World is a gorgeous I Want song, even if Alan Menken lifted the melody at the end from his previous work on Little Shop.
Oh, so she's the one that singing the music.
Wish I could be
And he thought no one would notice! Also, the cinematography is stunning, there's some great jokes, vibrant colors, absolutely incredible animation. It's pretty easy to tell why this movie was such a gigantic, influential hit. This is just everything I want in a musical and more. I could rewatch it a million times and never get tired of it. And keep in mind, this is only number 5 on the list. Yeah, when I said these are some of my all-time favorite movies, I wasn't kidding. Guys, I would love to put this film at number 1 and prove all the naysayers wrong.
I just haven't seen Hunchback of Notre Dame. I get why people like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I just wasn't that big of a fan of it. I think it's just I don't know. I was just not really into Hunchback of Notre Dame to watch it. I may watch it one day and have a different opinion, but like right now,
Overall package Disney has ever put out, and that deserves all the accolades and acclaim in the world.
I get why a lot of people like Hunchback of Notre Dame, the villain, the characters.
But this movie is a mess. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way. First, a common misconception is that the gargoyles are an annoying trio that are exclusively responsible for the movie's tonal problems. Not true, for 2 reasons. First, Victor and Laverne are actually pretty okay at being moral guardians and confidants for Quasi to talk to. It's this dumbass George Costanza gargoyle that ruins everything about this concept, because he is so annoying and immature and unpleasant doesn't, and I can't do this anymore. Let's just move on. Second, this movie is a complete tonal mess even without the help of the gargoyles. It did the fool parts all by itself, with some truly embarrassing sequences during Esmeralda's initial escape at the Feast of Fools, and even the final battle. This babyish slapstick is wedged in between some truly emotional and heavy scenes, and it gives me complete and utter whiplash. Also, the goat gets on my nerves, sorry not sorry. But the gargoyles do take the crown for the worst scene in the movie, and probably my least favorite song in Disney history. A Guy Like You is so awful. Every bit the tonal disaster that Fixer Upper is.
Oh my god, Fixer Upper was terrible in Frozen. I like most of the movie in Frozen, but this song right there was just god awful. I'm one of those guys that actually like Frozen. Second one, not into it. I haven't seen it, but like Frozen 1 was good.
But it doesn't even have the courtesy of being catchy. It's all about building Quasi's hopes up that he'll get with Esmeralda romantically, and then the very next scene, she's making out with Phoebus. Oops! I guess it's cool to completely crush.
That was a shocking one, because I thought he gonna be together with Esmeralda, if that's her name, but I didn't. But I got spoiled, so I didn't know they didn't really put them together. That she just dated someone else.
Crush his spirits. Thanks for that, dicks. But yeah, that's everything I hate.
I seen the DVD sequel, so he got a crush anyway, so it doesn't really matter
About the movie. So let's move on to the good stuff. Everything else. The soundtrack, best in a Disney movie easily, but only after you surgically remove A Guy Like You. It's like the appendix. It's useless, and once it bursts, it kind of kills the entire experience. But The Bells of Notre Dame, best opening of any Disney movie. Yeah, I said it. Hellfire, the best villain song by
Hellfire was good
by far. God Help the Outcasts and Out There, gorgeous emotional ballads that show how selfless these two characters can really be. Esmeralda straight up asks for nothing for herself because the liberation of her people is more important. And Quasi just...
Why do the villain wants Esmeralda for? I don't know.
Just wants one day to live amongst regular people. And he gets his wish for a fleeting moment, only for the crowd to turn on him because they're simple peasant folk who suck. I mean, listen to this guard.
You think he's ugly now? Watch this. Well, that's ugly.
What a rude ass simpleton. Wait a minute.
Well, that's ugly.
Wait a minute.
At your service, sir.
What the scallop? Anyway, yeah, the
Really, I already dislike Pastor, but now you got me disliking Pastor a lot more now.
characters are great. I mean, Phoebus is a little boring.
Yes.
But the plights of Quasi and Esmeralda really carry this story a long way. Plus, Frollo is still the best Disney villain. I know I complain that he isn't really as three-dimensional as he appears and that the musical made him more compelling, but goddamn, if this Frollo isn't the most evil-ass motherfucker in the entire Disney pantheon, I don't know who is. The epic orchestral chanting, the stunning molding of traditional and CG animation to give Notre Dame its grand feel. After the misstep that was Pocahontas, this truly feels like the next step up in terms of making every Disney movie more grand than the last. It's just brought down a bit by the tonal problems that really didn't have to be there. Like I said previously, I prefer the stage musical. It fixes all these issues and it's a more compelling piece of art. But this movie deserves credit for its ambition, even if not all of it panned out in the end. I really do wish I could rank this higher in good conscience, because the best parts of this movie are straight up the best parts of Disney in general. I respect this movie more than I like it, and I already like it a whole lot. So that's a great deal of respect, and if I were this movie, I'd be pretty proud of that.
All right, Gypsy, where'd you get the money?
What? Oh my!
Get it, ladies!
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked too. Hercules is just so
Hercules is good. Hercules is really good. Hercules is good. I will watch Hercules a lot as well. Same thing with Mulan.
energetic, so hilarious, so compelling, so visually distinct, so musically distinct, and just so flat out fun that I ended up ranking it way higher than I expected.
I know Disney gonna fuck it up when they try to make it live action. I hope they don't, but they're going to do it.
It's not because I'm Greek, guys, believe me. I already bitched about this movie's subpar Greek representation before.
Yeah, I'm a Greek. I know a little bit about Greek because I try to learn more about Greek. I'm more of a Greek guy than Nordic. And yeah, the movie don't really say much about let's just skip to everything what keep portraying. You know, I hate more in like how people try to do Greek movies and how they portray fucking fucking Hades. Hades is not that bad of a person, and you actually know the full concept, not the concept, know the history of Greek. I think the person who was way worse was Poseidon.
This movie is the complete package. It's the first time a Disney movie feels like it was
making Hades a villain because like he's an underworld guy, so it makes sense in their eyes that, oh, this dude's just a villain. But you know the more full context, he's really kind of like actually like neutral than like a terrible villain.
was built from the ground up around the music. Like, if you took the songs out of Little Mermaid or Aladdin, you'd still have a largely unchanged narrative. It'd be way less good, mind you, but in theory, these
people do not like Hercules, even with the whole Greek thing not being accurate.
Of their music. But the story of Hercules is framed around the Muses, who, unlike Phil Collins, fit the setting perfectly and add some amazing gospel flair, which is an inspired choice since the movie's about
they actually are singing in the setting instead of Phil Collins is singing a song.
Gods and such. In fact, let's talk about all the other things that fit the movie really well. FYI, I am about to throw out
I like Hades in this movie. Hades in this movie is good.
So much shade that you're never gonna see the sun again. Like I said, the musical style
ain't good version of them making Hades a villain. Rescue Down Under is underrated though. He put Rescue like 9. He just did not like Rescue that much. He put Pocahontas like number 10. He put Rescue like number 9. He put Mulan in 7. I was like, damn. But I get why he put Mulan in 7. I didn't really watch Rescue, so I don't really know much.
Which works wonders for the theme of the story and setting. The designer of this movie is Gerald Scarfe, the guy who did The Wall. This is an inspired choice because his designs are so distinct compared to every previous Disney movie. The jagged edges on the characters and the abominable monsters just pop and look incredible. The look and tone of the movie is gonna be Las Vegas. Nice, it really highlights Hercules becoming sort of a superficial hero rather than a true one, which is a conflict within the story. And the singer of the main song is gonna be Michael Bolton. Dude, that buttery voice singing Go the Distance, I am here for it. Hercules is pretty
character is just that he wants to be a hero.
Interesting. His plotline about not belonging is handled differently from other Disney protagonists. Ariel, Belle, Aladdin, Pocahontas, etc. want something different out of life, but they still have friends and a role in society and people who respect them. Hercules doesn't have that. He has his prince, but everyone else hates him for his clumsiness, which makes sense because he can't control
his clumsiness and him being way too strong.
His literal godlike strength. I normally hate clumsiness as an excuse for why someone doesn't belong, but it's a natural fit here. This builds into one of the most inspiring I Want songs in the Disney pantheon, with Go the Distance being a beautiful ballad inside the story and out. Megara is sassy, but there's so much more to her than that.
Yeah, she at least is a character. And with the sassiness,
probably my favorite female character in any Disney movie, being a totally unique, world-weary, reluctant servant
character in this movie.
Servant to the villain. A dynamic we've never
She was just using Hercules until she started falling in love with the guy.
Gotten from Disney before. I really believe the romance and I love the conflict she has about not wanting to hurt Hercules. Dude, Susan Egan can do no wrong. She played Belle on Broadway, who's like the polar opposite of Meg, yet her amazing expressive voice fits both characters so naturally. Also, she played Rose Quartz. I'm contractually obligated to mention that, so no.
Oh god. Why they made her play Rose Quartz in Steven Universe? Goddamn. She already hearing good things about her. She was already playing Meg anyway in this movie. Then I hear that she played fucking Rose Quartz. God fucking damn it. I hate this bitch in a passion in Steven Universe. Steven Universe to me is like C tier. Her in general.
And y'all need to comment that now. Anyway, moving on to Danny DeVito. He brings Phil to life in such a delightful manner. He's not some shoehorned comic relief. He's kind of the emotional core of the story. Dude, when you see that constellation at the end and that guy says, "That's Phil's point," you're definitely a heartless if you don't tear up at that just a little bit. Oh yeah, and Hades rules! Easily one of the best Disney villains ever. He's so witty and quotable, yet menacing when he needs to be. And all the other side characters are just totally awesome. Even though their first awkward scene had me worried, Pain and Panic actually have a ton of hilarious moments.
Yeah, I like that scene when they just got merchandise. Hades is mad and he just drinking. That's just like his merchandise. They just became fans of Hercules, and Hades just got so mad though.
I love what a booming presence Zeus has. R.I.P. Rip Torn. I really enjoy those fickle asshole town people. Hermes has like 5 lines, and I still distinctly remember him. The songs, I remember every single one. There is not a single bad track in this movie. From the intricately conducted gospel truth to
because in this movie I don't know which this movie had like terrible songs. This movie had really good songs, really good music than the others.
Danny DeVito's bouncy training romp, One Last Hope, to the absolute jam, Zero to Hero, to the song that practically invented music itself because of how iconic it is, I Won't Say I'm in Love. My only real that the lighthearted tone doesn't really correlate to a compelling climax, which itself is really poorly staged. I mean, the whole conceit of the movie is that Hercules is destined to defeat Hades when he tries to take over Olympus, but Hercules doesn't really do that. Hades chains everyone in Olympus up with the Titans' help, but Hercules just kind of flies in and breaks the chains, so suddenly everyone is totally capable of beating the Titans, even though they weren't like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I agree with him with that.
It's real dumb. Also, Meg's entire body was crushed under a pillar.
She would have been fucking obliterated because of that. I get it's a Disney movie. They can't really do like gruesome things like that, but like
she should be like instantly dead, right? Her organs should not be working. Also, Hercules is able to touch the river of death, but then he's gotta dive in from a pretty steep. Honestly, this entire climax is just kind of bonkers and not in a good way. But it still leads to a sensational ending that makes me think
when the climax started happening, it did kind of slow down the movie.
About the experience as a whole. It's certainly not perfect, but it has everything I look for in a Disney movie. Unique and expressive animation, phenomenal songs, a villain who's intimidating, a hero who's likable, a romance you believe, an actual suspense leading up to the climax. Yeah, this is my jam. Obviously, it's not my all-time favorite, but if someone forced me to only watch one Disney movie for an entire year as some sort of new age corporal punishment, I'd probably pick this one. It's just that fun and something I never get tired of revisiting. The Lion King is
I just want to keep it as like an ultimate classic
that can never be replicated. So why even try? Hakuna Matata, come on. Every frame of this film screams iconic, from the magnificent circle of life sequence to the visceral, intense stampede scene. The emotions conveyed through simple facial expressions, vibrant colors, expressive movement, all the things that can only be encapsulated by animation, are simply astounding. This is a rich, mature, boundary-pushing, gorgeously styled story that flows perfectly, hits hard dramatically, offers a ton of great comedy as a counterbalance, and stands the test of time as the crowning achievement of a studio at the top of their game. I simply don't even know what I could possibly say about this film.
Disney around the Renaissance, 2000s and 2010s were good. Then Disney just went downhill now. Disney don't know what they fucking doing. Disney used to be that good animated movies until like they just don't know what they're doing. Now they just kept going into more live action. It's just with them in TV shows, but when they start doing movies, they just not that really good at it that much. There are some good live action movies, but it's just not that many. Now it's the live action Disney movies, especially the ones that are try to do all these Renaissance movies, are not good. But when it's just different movies, while just try to copy Renaissance movies, they are actually good.
Hasn't already been said. No, seriously, you guys got anything? I'm kind of at a loss for words. It's just so grand in every way. It doesn't feel too cartoonish or slapsticky, which is a trap some of the other films can fall into on occasion. Every character is iconic in their own way, every setting beautiful, every song engaging, every emotional beat satisfying. The worst song in the perfect. Unlike Mulan, which had very few songs and only one real banger, this one has such phenomenal music that the low song count is totally fine. Oh, speaking of music, I'm just gonna come out and say it. The Lion King has the single best score I've ever heard in a movie. And I've heard some great ones, mind you, but this movie's score is absolutely stunning. Keep in mind, I don't throw best of all time around willy-nilly. It's usually my favorite because objectivity in film is really hard. But I stand by this. The Lion King is the best film score ever written. Somehow, this is the only movie score Hans Zimmer won an Oscar for, but if we gotta pick just one, then I can't argue with this one. The score enhances the ambiance of every scene, makes for such compelling action, introspection, lightheartedness, and tragedy. It isn't solely responsible for this movie's artistic merit, but it's a very big part of it. And it's the centerpiece to one of the greatest scenes in film history.
I laugh because like I see a meme of this and it was so funny that I forgot where the meme came from, where it was
big part of it. And it's the centerpiece to one of the greatest scenes in film history. A scene I physically cannot get through without chills or sobbing or both. I mentioned that A Whole New World was in my top 10 favorite movie scenes of all time. This top 3. I briefly touched upon its impact in my Elsa video, and I don't know if I could ever truly express its magnificence with words. The cloudy vision of Mufasa reminding Simba of his destiny, which then turns into Mufasa as Simba remembered him as the music swells. Dude, it's unbelievable. You know it's unbelievable, I don't need to tell you. Literally the only problem I have with this movie is Matthew Broderick's weird voice. Otherwise, this is the most iconic animated film of all time. How could I not adore it? And yet, Disney already made it. Even as a little kid with no real semblance of taste or quality, I always knew there was something special about Beauty and the Beast. Everything about it was captivating in my 5-year-old brain, from the songs to the visuals to the romance, and it just kept getting better as the years went on.
One of their issue with the movie is just that how the prince turned to a beast.
This is Disney's magnum opus. It's not as grand as Lion King, but it's practically perfect in every way. The romance between Belle and the Beast, which seems impossible to achieve from the outset based on their differences, progresses in such a natural, well-paced, intelligent manner. Their chemistry becomes apparent after he saves her life, and from there, every decision either of them makes is in service to making the other feel happy. They become better people thanks in no small part to each other's influence. It's like Megamind, but even better fleshed out and developed. Everything is so well set up for the most believable, intricate romance Disney has ever produced to bloom in the most beautiful manner possible. On top of that, the side characters are fantastic, the castle is so intricately designed, the songs are wonderful and express the desires of each character expertly. The opening song gives me life. It is musical
song always hits.
Theater incarnate, setting the stage for everything and introducing us to the main character, setting, and antagonist perfectly. Be Our Guest warms us up to the castle and makes it feel like home after all the disturbing imagery we've just... As if it wasn't good enough that this movie gives us the most beautiful love story ever told, we also get the supreme meme dispensary that is Gaston.
When I was a boy, I ate eggs every morning to help me get beautiful.
My favorite works of fiction are the ones that can flawlessly tell a story and hit you hard with emotional, powerful moments, while also having that extra fun factor. It's why I love Whiplash. Intricate, perfect narrative, and Fletcher is just hilarious to watch. It's why Majora's Mask is kind of my favorite thing on planet Earth. Dark, mature, subtle.
Never played a Legend of Zelda game. This is not the biggest Nintendo guy. I'm more a PlayStation guy.
Story with Goron rolling, cow abducting, guitar shredding, fun. And here, not only do we get the same amount of incredibly enjoyable zaniness and energy that the other Disney movies have, but we have a rich, mature, expertly told love story where every narrative beat.
I kind of wish that he could just transform into the Beast, but he's just turned back to a human just like that.
And character action is believable. From Belle's sorrow after throwing her life away for her father, to Gaston's continuously more menacing demeanor, to the Beast's reluctant expression when he decides to let Belle go because he values her life over that of his own, because he truly has finally learned to love. Oh my god, it's just flawless. I guess I could say I don't like the slapstick and LeFou constantly falling over gets real old, but honestly, who cares? Beauty and the Beast is a momentous achievement and perhaps the greatest animated movie I've...
How in the fucking live action movie, they try to make the character gay, even though that makes no goddamn sense. But a live action movie try to make him gay. That was so dumb.
Ever seen. It's so easy to see why this was the first animated movie to receive a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars. It's magically the highlight of the entire Disney pantheon. Every time I witness the tale as old as time sequence and see those little painted angels looking down at the two from on high, leading to that incredible pan shot past the chandelier with our leads fully entranced by the love they now feel for one another, as this gorgeous song echoes through this absolutely... I kind of forget I'm watching a movie. It shouldn't be possible to capture a moment this stunningly beautiful on film, but they did. As long as I live, this sequence and this entire movie will always hold the key to my heart. Hey, speaking of keys and hearts and Beauty and the Beast,
I take it you're talking about Kingdom Hearts.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Never played Kingdom Hearts. And even though Kingdom Hearts is in PlayStation, never played it.
But the writing is so bad, you guys. Oh my god.
Now I've got it. Means heart.
That was undeniable proof that we totally owned you, lamers.
If only there was some sort of service these writers could utilize in order
Oh god, the writing is bad.
to take classes to improve their writing. Oh wait, there is! Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. Premium membership gives you unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. My recommendation this time is Emily Gould's Creative Writing for All, a 10-day journaling challenge. Her writing exercise really helped me improve my scripting methods, and I really enjoyed the interactivity present in the class video. You can sign up with the link in the description and get a 2-month free trial. Get on that, y'all. Click that link and enjoy Skillshare completely free for 2 whole months.
Why he had to put it like that? Put the whole face of this. That's so terrifying. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to the channel and subscribe to Sheffless Productions video. He made some really good content. I will do the 2010s and I'm gonna do the 2000s maybe tomorrow, because sometimes I do. It takes me like a week or two to come back, or even a month. It's like I work in the parking lot of Walmart, so it's like I do get really tired coming to work. Sometimes I want to do a video, but then it's like I just way too tired. Then I just need to relax and stuff. Even though I'm off the weekends, I just don't want to do anything. But sometimes I do try to come back on YouTube most of the time.